Hello everybody, we're just getting set up for that live stream right now. Thank you for joining us for the early edition, where we get everything set up. Javeen is in Champ Select right now. Why is it not showing my options to go live? There we go. I think that's the button to press there, isn't it? Nope, nope. It didn't like that at all. It thought that was a bad decision. Alright. Technical difficulties. The difficulty is that I don't know what to do. It's a pretty big difficulty. Turn off the sound here so you don't hear me. It was a bad decision. Alright. Technical. Okay. Huh. It's not giving me the ability to edit this for you guys. What's up with that? And can I not chat? I want live chat. Posting as OC languages, yeah. Edit video. There we go. Oh, the game is about to start. Crap. There we go. Changes here. I don't know how to edit the thumbnail though. Sweet. It is not a fan of saving my changes. Reload. Come on. Boys and girls.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn.
Why is it not updating?
Minions have spawned.
Alright. Visit watch page. ready to go live here. Sorry, my computer's just completely lagging because of trying to post about the live stream that's about to go live. And the fact that my internet is streaming and watching this game all at the same time. It's getting a little overwhelming. Alright, let's do one final visual check to make sure that you guys can see what is on the screen. Right on into it. Still not loading. Alright, we've got confirmation it is working. Alright, we're all set up for the stream. We're going to start live here in just a second, guys. Thanks for joining us for the intro. Before the stream. Last step here, let me get my audio in for myself so I can hear the game. Alright, we're going to go officially live here in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello everybody, welcome back to OCTV. Today we are doing another live stream with the legendary Orange County local esports celebrity known as Javeen. Javeen will be playing the champion of Misfortune today that we went over in our last game. Seems like that's a champ he's playing quite a bit right now. And he's playing under the account Clown. Now, in our last episode, we covered the basics of watching the game. Maybe you're even noticing how it's easier to understand the game right now. Just by checking this out, from those simple rules, you see how they're killing the minions to get money. They're shooting attacks at each other to try and get the last hits to get gold. And they're duking it out with their damage-dealing attacks, and that's occurring across the map. But today, we are going to get into even more detail, the final piece to understanding the complicated puzzle of League of Legends. So this colorful show occurring on the screen will be able to be legible, make sense to you, understand the basics of the game so that you can watch it and enjoy it just like every other sport out there. So that's what we're going to focus in on today, and that focus is going to be on the individual characters and their abilities. So, to start, how this works, we're going to focus in on Miss Fortune here, just to use her as a base character. Now, every character, aka champ, has its own unique abilities, and they get 5 of them. So, what they get is a passive, a Q, a W, an E, and an R. Now, the reason those things are called Q, W, E, and R is because those are the keys on the keyboard that you press to use that ability. And so that's what they get their names. So when you hear someone saying Q, 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 what they're saying is that they're telling someone to use their Q over and over again. Or if someone says that they landed a nice W, what they're talking about is they use their W in an effective way. So that's all they're saying when you hear those discussions. Now, those abilities change and differ from every single champ, and that's what makes each champ unique, is those, I'm sorry, I said 5 abilities. But they all kind of sort of fall into similar categories, and I'll explain what those are. So the passive is a unique skill amongst all of the 5 abilities. The 5 abilities have unique elements to them, and I totally lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. But the passive is unique to all of the other 4 abilities, is what I meant to say. Sorry. The other 4 abilities are very similar, and I'm going to explain the mechanic behind them. The passive is the only exception. We're going to start with the passive so we can get over the exception, and then the rest will follow the exact same formula. It'll make it easier for you to understand. So the reason a passive is called a passive is it's an ability that doesn't really cost anything. It's just something that your champion gets. It's kind of like a special ability. So, for example, Miss Fortune's passive right here is called Love Tap. So, Miss Fortune, it says, oh, sorry, jumped over on the screen there. How do I lock it in on her? I'm still trying to figure that out. I think that should do it. So, Love Tap here deals bonus physical damage whenever she attacks a new target. So that means that when she attacks one target and then moves to another target, she does way more damage. And so that's her special ability. And she just gets that. It doesn't cost her anything extra. She doesn't have to spend health. She doesn't have to spend mana. That's just the ability that she has. And that's what makes a passive unique. Every other ability that you have typically costs something. And we're going to explain what that is. With the first one here, we're going to look at is a Q. So the Q spell for Miss Fortune is she fires a bouncing shot through an enemy. And it deals 80 damage, physical damage to each target, both on-hit effects. The second shot can critically strike for 200 damage. Basically, what this means is she presses a Q. It hits the minions, or it hits somebody, and it will bounce, and it does a lot of damage. So using this ability makes her do more damage to the other team. The cost associated with doing it, though, is twofold. So first, when she uses her Q, she loses mana. So mana, right here, let's wait for her to respawn real quick. 1 second. Boom. Alright, so the blue bar floating over her head and the red bar are her health bar at the top in red and her mana bar in blue at the bottom. The mana is used whenever she uses her Q, but it's also used whenever she uses her W, her E, or her R. So every other spell you have costs mana, and it's not always mana. There's some exceptions to the rule. These are just the basics of champs. Some champs don't have mana. Instead, they'll use health. Other champs have various systems for charging their attacks, but they're the basic, most common cost is a cost of mana, but it always costs something to use these abilities. And what every spell has in common, across the board, other than your passive, is what's called a cooldown. And this is the second cost associated with every attack. So when Miss Fortune uses her Q, that Q attack makes her bullets bounce and do more damage. Her attack, watch right here. See how, so she hasn't used her Q yet. Boom, she used it. See that number that popped up? The number that popped up right there is the cooldown. So when she uses her Q, she has to wait a certain amount of time before she can use that attack again. And so every spell has that cost. So it's not like she can just go and click Q, 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 Q and use all her mana up. She has to cost her mana, but she also has to lose the ability to use that spell for a small amount of time. This can make an opponent very vulnerable. And this is one of those elements. So I was telling you guys yesterday about how in esports games, APMs can skyrocket up to 250 actions per minute in these team fights. This is one of the reasons why. Because the esports professionals are managing their character on a micro level, so they have to understand which spells are on cooldowns, which spells are up, which spells need to be up, and they need to be able to think 4 or 5 moves ahead to understand, okay, if I attack now, my cooldown on this effect is going to be up in 3 seconds, and if it's up in 3 seconds, I'll be able to use this ability, which will stall them for this amount of time so that I can use this next ability, and that's the juggling act that they're doing. When they're clicking really fast, and you're seeing all those colors flying around, and everything is exploding, you're just totally lost, like, what is happening on the screen? What's happening is that they're doing advanced mathematical equations in their head in real time, and the consequences of screwing up on those numbers mean that they lose the game. And the opponent is attempting with all of their might to make you mess up your math. And that is basically what's occurring in these fights. So, when Miss Fortune here uses her Q, she deals that super damage, but her move goes on cooldown, and not only is it on cooldown, it costs mana. So if she runs out of mana, she can't use any spells, or if she gets just too low. I don't know why this won't follow her. I'm really trying to get that to work. Let's see if that works. Alright. So, all of her other abilities, the W, the E, and the R, have that same basic mechanic, which is they cost something to use, and they have a cooldown, and the cooldown is an additional cost as well. So every spell has a cooldown. Every spell has a cooldown, and most of them have an associated cost, whether that's mana, health, energy, time, like that. There's random things that you can use, but most of it's mana, and you can think of all of it as just mana, really. There's no reason to get more complicated than that unless you want to research and know more. Now, the abilities range vastly. There's no one set, like this is the one that people, you know, this is what all the spells do. So each champ is unique, but we'll go over Miss Fortune's here just so you can get a understanding of what her basic attacks are. So she's got her Q, which is the bouncing shot, deals a bunch of damage, and she has a W. Her W is called Strut. Strut makes her walk faster. That's all it does. So she clicks W, it costs her a little bit of mana, and then she's able to walk faster for a little bit of time, but as you can see, it goes on cooldown, so she can't use that all the time. Right now, see, 3, 2, 1, now she can use it. So that's her W. It's pretty simple, pretty basic ability. The second ability, or the third, I'm sorry, ability is her E. It's called Make It Rain. She makes a circle on the air, on the ground, and she makes bullets rain down and deals a bunch of damage, and it slows the opponent. So it basically, she can use that to position the enemy to like slow them down, stop them, stun them, so that she can hit them with that Q and do a bunch of damage. Now finally, Miss Fortune has what is called her R. Now, her R is also known as her ult. She just used it right there. Boom! You see that giant exploding fire? That was her ult. Hey, we'll do a pop quiz. So we just had a team fight there. You see red lost 1 and blue lost 3. Oh, red lost 1. So blue lost 4, red lost 2. Who won the team fight? That's correct. Red won the team fight. I'm sorry, I got those completely backwards. I was saying the wrong colors. I don't know why. But red team lost the fight, and red team lost the fight, and blue team won. My bad. Sorry for mixing that up for you. So what was I saying? The ult, right. So the ult is a slightly different in that what makes an ult, and there are exceptions to these rules, but in general, this is going to be the case. So the first thing is to get your ult, you have to be level 6. And we discussed in the last video, killing minions with the last hit gets you experience, and just being near things that are dying and action and attacks get you experience as well. So like right now, Miss Fortune's going to get experience from all these minions. Even if she doesn't hit the last hit, she still gets experience, but getting that last hit gets her more experience. And with enough experience, she grows a level. When you grow a level, you get to choose which ability you want to level up first of these 4 abilities, the Q, W, E, and R. You can't level up your passive. It's just always there. And that's part of the strategy as well, which attacks to get first. And that's an element of strategy that the professional gamer has to take into consideration. Now, the exception to that is the ult. The ult, also known as the R, is an ability you can only get at level 6. So you have to wait till level 6 before you can upgrade this ult. So at level 6, you are able to use your ultimate. And what makes ultimates unique is they're typically your most powerful and amazing spell, but they also usually have a very, very long cooldown. So cooldowns for a standard spell like Q, W, and E can be less than a second sometimes, but you know, it could be 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 1 second, but it's nothing really, really long. An ult's cooldown can sometimes be as long as 2 minutes. It's crazy how long a cooldown can be on an ult. So that means that the ults have to be used very carefully, because you want to make sure that you have your ults up at the right times. Because if you don't have your ultimate attack up and it's on cooldown, you're a much weaker opponent than you would be if you have your ult up. So that's an element of timing and strategy that's going into this game. In fact, the professional teams are tracking and making sure, almost like card counting in a way, they're tracking to see which champion has used their ults so they can know what the cooldowns are on them. It's incredible the memory you have to pull this kind of thing off. It's truly an amazing feat. And that's what makes the ults unique, is they're more powerful, they have very long cooldowns, and when they're down when those cooldowns are down, they're much weaker. The not having the ability to, it's not like using the ult makes you weak, it's just you no longer have the ability to use your ult, and your ult is so strong that it makes up, you know, a big part of what makes you effective. And then finally, so we've discussed the Q, the W, the E, the ult, and the passive. So now you understand what those are. The final set of abilities you get are what are called summoner spells. Summoner spells, and you can see those right here, are the spells that everybody gets access to in the beginning of the game, and you get to choose them. So there's a wide range of them, but on average and most commonly, there's a few select ones that get chosen. There's Ignite, Exhaust, Flash, Teleport, and Smite. Now, we'll start with the easiest one. Smite basically just does damage and gives you a little bit of health back, and the only person who ever gets that is Jungle. Jungle uses it to kill the big scary minions. Like we were discussing, their minions are, in the last video, the minions are a lot stronger than like standard minions, so they have to have the Smite to kill those big minions. Now, the other spells basically break into more or less 2 different categories, which is movement and damage. So Exhaust and Ignite are used to weaken the opponent. Exhaust weakens your opponent, and Ignite deals damage to your opponent. So they're basically like, so if you use exhaust, you'll burn them and hurt them. If you use ignite, you will burn them and hurt them. You're lighting them on fire essentially. And exhaust makes them weaker and slower, so it's basically it debuffs them. It makes them less strong. And those are you can use those to essentially hurt your other team. The other ones are related more to movement, and those ones are called Flash and TP or Teleport. TP and Teleport are the same thing. They're used interchangeably. Flash is chosen by virtually every person because it's just an incredibly powerful one. So when you see in those fights the people turn yellow and teleport, what they're doing is a flash. It's like a very short-range teleport almost. They flash around, and that's why it's called Flash. That one allows for a lot of the cool plays, and it adds a huge element of strategy to the game. You can use it to flash over walls, you can use it to flash away from opponents, you can use it to flash in and attack people when they're not expecting it. There's just a lot of different elements that go into a flash. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's crazy. Red team is cleaning up. Blue team, oh my goodness, they're walking away. Blue team had a lead, but they're taking them out. Woo! Look at that. Boom! GG! Look at that. That was epic. Jeez, what a fight. Javeen just cleaned that guy up, shot the Swain in the face. Sorry, I got distracted by that. I'm sorry, I was telling you about the summoner spells. So that's Flash. Flash lets you move around with Teleport. The last one is what's called TP Teleport. This lets you literally just teleport across the map. So you can teleport to a certain spots called wards or towers or minions, and it lets you just move across the map. So it gives you mobility, and that allows you to do a lot of interesting things, obviously. And so that's what's called a champion's kit, what we just explained to you. The passive, the Q, the W, the E, the R, and the summoner spells is a champion's kit. When you hear people say they're talking about their kit, what they're talking about is the abilities and moves that the people have and the abilities and moves that they've chosen. Now, there's also this thing in summoner spell or runes. You don't really need to worry about those, but more or less, just to give you a really, really brief overview, runes are, before the game begins, people can choose to pick basically special buffs on different skills. So you could be like, I want to be a little bit stronger, I want to do a little bit more damage, or I want to have a little bit more health, or I want to be a little bit faster, and things like that. So that's what runes come into play with. They're very powerful, they're very effective, but they're pretty complicated, and you don't need to really know them for the understanding the basics of the game. From just a spectator standpoint. If you're playing, you definitely need to know them. Oh, by the way, this is them killing the Baron right now. It looks like Javeen is just coming in and stealing that Baron right in front of his face. What a mean player, just rubbing it in that guy's face. Just stealing the Baron, letting him know he doesn't even care as he cleans up all of blue team. Will Javeen get away? Oh, he was able to survive. They're just carving that Baron up. Wow. Oh, man, look at that. He just did it right in front of him. He didn't even care. Oh, are they going to get a triple? I think they're going to kill 3 players. Boom! All right, let's do some basic math here, guys. Javeen's team killed 3 blue people. Red team lost 1 person. Who won? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, but blue team's catching them off guard. Will they be able to fight it out? It looks like a 1-for-1 exchange. Oh, no, but this Vladimir is going to... Oh, he's going to... Wow, that's a ton of damage. That is disgusting amounts of damage. Wow. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. This game is just so intense and amazing. But yes, so we discussed the kit. Q, W, E, and R, and your summoner spells. That's what people are talking about with their kits. And so you can see which of those abilities is on cooldown and have been used right down here. That's what those little spirals are. You don't need to. No. For enjoying the game, but if you're interested in like the nitty-gritty details, you can see which moves are on cooldown and how much mana and health they have left. It's a useful little thing. And guys, that basically sums up everything. That's it. That's how you understand the basics of League of Legends. So you have the macro level that we discussed yesterday, which is the tower defense games that's occurring between the minions, and you're a champion that helps fight for your minions to take the other person's base before they take yours. And that occurs within 4 lanes: the top, mid, bot and jungle, which we discussed last time. And the team, the 5-man team, works together to push those 4 lanes so that they can take the opponent's lane before, or base before they lose their own base. And now we've discussed the micro, so you know what each champion's doing on a micro level, which is using those 4 abilities, those active abilities, and their passives and summoner spells to try and do just that. Now, the last element of the game that you don't really need to know very much depth on, but just a cursory overview, is that when people kill minions and champions and towers, they get gold. Now, the champions can then spend that gold to buy items. Items can do everything under the sun to making you better. It can make you faster, it can make you stronger, it can make you more tanky. Tanky means being able to take a lot of damage, give you more health. It can make you use your abilities faster, have less cooldown on your abilities. There's a billion different items out there. But more or less, every champion builds different items, and that's a final form of math that gets taken into consideration. Is these professionals are monitoring which items each team, the other team is playing and using, and then they're building accordingly. So that's another chess match that is occurring in these games. Now, the items, you don't really need to know the details of them too much. If you get curious, you can Google them, but it's not necessary for understanding the basics of the game at all. You can totally get by without knowing the items. And that really sums it up, guys. That gives you the overview of how to watch a League of Legends game. You understand the macro, you understand the micro level that's going on, and you understand that there are items and that they give you the abilities that make you stronger. So with that, I think that we are ready to probably do our first game and just watch it through as a spectator, and I think you'll be able to understand what is League of Legends, how does it work, and I'll coach you through it. I'm not going to get too crazy. But before the game gets started, and we're just waiting here, I don't know if Clown, Javeen, Gavin is going to play another game yet, but if he does, we will spectate that one for your first game, or we'll wait till we spectate again, and then that'll be your first game that we spectate. But what I'd recommend doing is, if you really want to get into this game and watching this game and supporting your local esports stars, because remember, Javeen is from Sunny Hills High School in Orange County. We are the OC Lawn Wizards. We do lawn care in Orange County, and we're a local business, and we love supporting our community. That's why we do this. And if you want to be able to watch this game and enjoy it and support a local esports star from our OC, guys, what I'd highly recommend doing is picking 2 or 3 champs that you like, just looking at them and picking them, and then learning what their moves do specifically, so you at least have a person to pick. When a game starts, you can be like, that's the guy I'm gonna focus on, that's gonna be my guy, I'm gonna cheer him on. So that could be Heimer, it could be Teemo, it could be Mundo, it could be Aatrox, it could be Misfortune, whatever your heart desires. But pick 2 or 3 of them, kind of get to know their moves and abilities, and then choose that to be your bud. And say, I'm going to, when I watch League of Legends, that's going to be my focal character. I'm going to focus on that character, and whoever's team they're on, that's my team. Woo, Team Red! In this case, of course, we're going to be Gan's team from Javeen. He's our OC guy, so whoever he chooses is going to be our bud. But that will give you a depth to the game that will at least allow you, even if you're a casual, even if you never touch a mouse and keyboard and you just want to enjoy this game, that will give you the ability to do so. Just focus in on that one character. Now that you understand the big picture, what's going on, that tower defense game, that's there, 5 people are fighting out over 4 lanes, and you know the micro level, at least the difficulty that goes into it, and what he's trying to do. He's trying to hit the last hit on those minions, and he's trying to kill the other champion without getting killed himself, so he can kill their towers and get to their base and win. Woo! That's what they're trying to do. And you can enjoy that without knowing any of the technicals, none of the fanciness. And you know how to judge a team fight. When 5 people jump in from both teams, there's 10 people duking it out. You don't need to know what those flashes are. You don't need to know what that crazy colors are. You don't need to know what those ults are. All you got to do is No, hey, 5 blue jumped in, 5 red jumped in, 2 blue walked out, 1 red walked out, blue won, red lost, because blue has 2 people still alive, red only has 1. And then you know who won the team fight. And of course, if you ever get lost, get a little confused, or just need to get caught up, right at the top of the screen is a good little summation that tells you exactly how many people got killed, how much gold they have, and how many towers they've taken. So you know at any given moment who's winning the game. And that's it. So that's my recommendations for you. It looks like Mr. Clown here, Javeen, has joined a game. Spectations are 3 minutes delayed, so we're going to just wait a little bit here and get a drink, get some food, get some dinner if you're interested, and come on back, and we're going to spectate our first ever League of Legends game, and I hope you guys enjoy. And we're going to see if Javeen is able to snatch victory from the claws of defeat that I guess he has to be losing for that expression to make sense, huh? Oh well. Go, Javeen! Woo! If you want to make Javeen feel really special, go into the comment section and post as if you are Russian. And I'm not going to give you any more context onto what that means or what it even would look like, but just go with whatever your heart says is the correct thing, and just leave some comments below. But make sure that the comments are very nice and uplifting, but like in a Russian way. Heck, maybe I'll give you an example. Be like bear. Bear is strong. That would be a good example of a Russian comment to leave that is motivational and inspiring for Javeen. So go ahead into the comment sections below and inspire Javeen to higher levels of performance that he has ever thought possible right now. And I'm going to get some water before I die. And if you're getting dinner, type in the chat. What are you having? Let's find out. Anybody go to one of those donut shops in Fullerton yet? Mundo, what am I saying? Zombie Donuts is amazing. You should go. They have a cinnamon roll snake, and it's literally just a cinnamon roll, but they put little googly eyes on it, and so it's a cinnamon roll snake. That's my kind of donut, right? That's like, I do direct response marketing and digital marketing for a day job, and that's my favorite. My favorite is like, why would you, when you're building a business or you're doing marketing or you're doing entrepreneurship, why would you build a castle when you could have just made a sand castle and gotten the same results? That's what I love. It's just like, all right, I'm going to have an artistic expression of a cinnamon roll. It's going to be a redux. I'm going to take it and invert it. I'm going to do the inside out, and then I'm going to put frosting on the top, and it's going to be a reduxed version of a cinnamon roll. Screw that. Take the cinnamon roll, take a little chocolate chip, just go doop, doop, boom, it's a snake. Yeah, it sells for the exact same price. I love that. It's my favorite thing. Thank you, Zombie Donuts. And no, they haven't sponsored a thing. I literally just am passionate about things, and when they're awesome, I like to let people know. I literally, there's nothing. They probably don't even know who I am. They probably don't even know this video exists. I should probably send that to them at least and let them know. Like, hey, are you cool with this? Because, like, what if they're not? They're like, we have too many customers. People keep stealing all of the snakes. Well, I guess it's not stealing, they're buying. But they're buying all of our snakes. We're just out of cinnamon roll snakes. And could you just please stop telling them? Could you promote one of our other donuts? Just any other donut that we have, please. We've run out of 47 batches of Cinesteaks. And please stop. So I should probably let them know. I wonder if they have an Instagram. Let's go here. Spectate the game. Oh no. Alright, Kansas and Champ select. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds before the game begins. Alright, I have access to my chat again, So I'm not in the dark. I just realized I'm making all these requests from you guys, and I have absolutely no way to respond. But now I do. Are we live? Are we live? Come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's so laggy. It's not, the stream isn't lagging. The stream's beautiful and perfect. But my phone is running the streaming software and streaming Javeen's spectating game, and I'm trying to open the live stream on my phone, so it's getting a little chubby. I don't know. Maybe internet had too many Cinna snakes. OPVs. Okay. The game volume is quite loud. Whoa. Heel is frequently chosen. Omelet with spinach, chicken, grass. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, is the audio still loud? I should probably turn that off, or you guys are going to hear yourself over it. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. So, all right, let's see what do you got? What do we got for food today? An omelet with spinach, turkey, chicken, grass-fed white cheddar, getting a little fancy there. Carnitas and salsa? What the heck? That's like 3 meats, isn't it? This turkey, chicken, and carnitas. How that's a long process. What the heck? So you went through and made 3 different meats for 1 omelet? That's a lot of work. Sounds like it would be perfect on my diet for keto. That's right. I'm your standard Los Angeles, or LA, what am I saying? SoCal, Orange County resident. I'm on a diet because I live in the LA Orange County area, also known as Southern California, and I have to follow a diet because that's what we all do, right? I mean, technically, if you get really technical about it, everybody's following a diet. It's just a matter of what kind of diet they're following. They might be following an unhealthy diet, you know? Maybe they're eating Cinnadonut all day. But you gotta have a Cinnadonut every now and then. You got it. You just have to. That's just the way life is, okay? You know, occasionally you've just gotta say, alright, you know what? I'm gonna go to the gym 5 times more this week because donut. You know what? Maybe you don't have to do that. I haven't done that in a while. It's weird that I talking a lot about how great these donuts are. I haven't eaten a donut in probably like 3 or 4 months minimum. I don't even. It might be a year. No, we had it that one time with Alex like 6 months ago. But yeah, I don't really eat sugar. I eat mostly fat, meat, and vegetables. That's most of my diet. It's basically just bacon and steak. that's the majority of my caloric intake. Okay, wait, what? Let's see right here. I'm going to spectate our first game. This is the beginning of the game. It's a little slow. So basically everyone just sits around and hangs out and chills. But if they aren't paying attention, you can actually do what's called a cheese. It's cheesy, and that's why they call it a cheese. And you can like do sneaky stuff because no one's expecting you to. And it's not, it doesn't happen often. But you can see how Miss Fortune's hanging back way back here. You might be able to hear her annoying laugh. He's spamming that. That's an emotion. You can basically spam what are called emotes. You can make sound, taunts, signs, and you just do that, and it's super annoying. And it's basically just a funny way of like interacting with the audience and the team. So right now they're killing the red buff. The red buff is a minion in the jungle that gives the person who kills it extra attack, and they get health back when they kill stuff. Javeen and the support here. The support is Sona. And it's Wussy is her name. Do 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 do. What was I saying? Sorry, Sup and ADC. Javeen here was helping the jungle kill him because in the beginning the jungle is very weak, so it's hard for them to kill the red buff on his own, so they help him out. Alright, so let's try and enjoy our first game ever live stream of League of Legends! Now that you guys understand the basics. So right now, the red team is pushing in, killing a lot of the minions. But Javeen is using that to his advantage because they're pushing in really close. So he's able to use the tower that attacks them if they get too close to his advantage. So see how he's pulling back? He wants them to come under tower so that he can deal damage to them. And the tower protects him. And so what he's doing is he's playing what's called being conservative. Conservative play is where you hide, you stay under tower so the tower protects you, and you pick off minions. Now this is a trade-off. So by doing this, he's a lot safer and less likely to die, but it makes it a lot easier for his enemy lane to get CS, and a lot easier for him to prevent him from getting CS. So it's harder for him to CS, and it's easier for the red team. Sona uses those circles to basically give buffs to Javeen. So when you see those circles popping up around Sona, they're giving Javeen, basically making him stronger or healing him or shielding him. And sometimes they even do damage to the enemy. Let's see. Just a pretty passive start here. It looks like the red team is playing pretty aggressively, pushing in the lanes hard, and Gavin's doing the smart play here by staying close to tower. The champion he's going against is called Draven. Draven's known for being a very aggressive champion, but if he isn't able to get kills, he's very weak in the late game. So as long as you don't die to him, typically you can beat him if you just let the game go on long enough. And it's not like you die once and it's game over, but the more he gets, the more broken he becomes. And broken is just an expression for being basically breaking the game, being too strong. It's used sarcastically. It doesn't actually break the game. People just say it as an expression. See, look at that. I'm really sticking out there for you guys who don't know much about gaming. I want everyone to be able to enjoy this amazing sport. Oh, look at that. So the jungle has just jumped into lane. And so it's 3 blue versus 2 red, and it looks like blue has killed one of the red. Oh no, but he used teleport to come in, so now there's 3 red and 1 blue down. Oh my goodness, the red team was able to clean up all of the... Oh my gosh. Woo! That was crazy. Alright, so 3 blue, 1 against... Frozen? I think we're frozen. Woo! Lagged out there. We went against 3 red, or 3 blue, 1 against 2 red. The 3 blue killed one of the red, and then another red teleported in and made it a 2 red versus 3 red again. They killed one of the blue, making it 2 red versus 2 red, and then the 2 red were able to kill the other blue, so they cleaned up real hard there, making the red team walk away with 5 kills, while blue team was left with only a measly 3. That's a big, big loss. Oh, man, it's lagging out again. Come on. Come on. You got this. I believe in you, computer. Sorry about the lag, guys. And we have a shout out to OPVs. You can check her out on Instagram. She got an amazing art channel, but she's letting us know that the secret to making a 3-meat omelet is the ultimate art of meal prep. Great job, OPVs. I like the suggestion. You should definitely check her out. She does some pretty amazing art on Instagram. Of course we promote our commenters. If you comment on our video, I totally will look you up on Instagram, and I will totally shout you out if you have cool stuff. I don't know how long I'll do that for, because I figured that could end up getting way out of control quickly. But for in the beginning right now, when we're starting out, and we're only dealing with like 20, 30 people at a time, heck yeah! You want me to promote your stuff? Let me know, as long as it's good. And if I don't respond, you'll know I didn't think it was good. But I'm not going to, like, bash you or anything. I won't tell anyone. But you'll know. You'll know you need to improve. Be like a subtle slap on the wrist. Oh my gosh, the 2 blues going in, getting shot. 1 red for 1 blue. It's a fair exchange right now, but it looks like the red's going to come in. But another blue has jumped into the game, able to push that red off. A fair exchange, 1 red for 1 blue, leaving the scoreboard at 6 red and 4 for blue. It's only a 2 kill difference and a 2K gold difference, though. That's a pretty big deal. All right, we're back into the game here with Misfortune sitting down in bot lane, going in. Oh man, this guy just walked into a death storm right there. That was a bad call by that guy. That champ is known as Nautilus. He is a sup as well. He is supporting the Draven. That's the guy with the axes that's very aggressive. That guy that throws those... Oh, those are called axes. I know they don't look anything like axes, but that's what they're called. Don't know why they're called that. But they're basically like throwing knives that he uses to deal damage. Ooh, he's getting a lot of poke off on Javeen. Javeen's going to have to flash out to save his life there. You can see how he was able to teleport away to dodge that attack. That makes him stay alive. He's hiding under the tower, but now his flash is up, and it's on a very long cooldown. With a very long cooldown like flash, he has to be very careful because it makes him lose his mobility. Oh, we got another comment. You know, OPVs again. Jeez, you're just you're jamming us, aren't you?